Millions of Americans hitting the polls yesterday for a handful of pivotal primaries last night, including key races in North Carolina, Arkansas, and Texas.
Meantime, Doug Lazader joins us live from Washington with the results. Doug.
Hey, good morning, guys. A lot of races to talk about, so let's start with that Texas Senate race that attracted so much attention and money. On the Democratic side, James Tallarico defeated Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett in that hotly contested primary. In a victory speech, Tallarico said he was going to take back Texas.
This movement is about whether the people will hold the power in this state and in this country. We launched this underdog campaign 6 months ago in my hometown of Round Rock, Texas. And since then, tens of thousands of Texans have shown up to rally with us in every corner of the state.
All right, Jasmine Crockett, meantime, cited voting issues in Dallas and said that, in her words, people have been disenfranchised. Now, we don't know yet what Republican Tallarico is going to face. The Republican race there is going to come down to a runoff in May between Senator John Cornyn and State Attorney General Ken Paxton in what has been a bruising primary. A few other races also in Texas. State Representative Steve Toth defeated Congressman Dan Crenshaw in the GOP primary. Shifting now to North Carolina, where former Governor Roy Cooper picked up the Democratic nomination for the now open Senate seat there. He'll go on to face former RNC Chairman Michael Whatley, who won the Republican primary. In Arkansas, Senator Tom Cotton easily won his primary, as expected. For Democrats, the nod went to Hallie Schaffner. And back to that high-profile Texas race for a moment. It's worth noting that no Democrat has won a statewide race in Texas in more than 30 years. Todd National.
But if Republicans keep spending all their money on a primary, which is look like it's going to happen into May 26th, I don't know. That does leave a little bit of an opening for Democrats, so we will see. Doug, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we're going to bring in Aaron McGuire from Axiom Strategies. Aaron, thanks for getting up with us. Your reaction to this last night?
There's a lot of big stories coming out right now out of last night's election, and one of them is going to be the Latino vote in Texas. That's really what propelled James Tallarico over Jasmine Crockett. And Jasmine Crockett is set to likely, this will likely be the end of her political career as we know it. She had to not run in the primary for her House seat, so I imagine you'll see her leftist nonsense all over the news going forward, including her election denialism here. But that Latino vote you see in Texas is going to be a key indicator going not only into the runoff for Republicans, but also into the general election. This is a base that moved quite frequently. You saw a big move in the 2024 election for those Latino voters toward Republicans. And are we going to see that pendulum swing back? With this runoff coming in May, you will see what is going to continue to be one of the most expensive primary in U.S. history. All eyes on Texas.
I totally agree with that evaluation of this speaker. This is correspondent. Jasmine Crockett I like Jasmine Crockett. I like her chutzpah. I like her personality, but I think sometimes she is blinded by her political stance, and she don't see that Texas is the major minority is Hispanics in there. So it's not an ethnic background like Atlanta, Georgia, where you have a large contingent of African Americans in the city. So when you're representative of a certain district, the statewide district, you're going there, you're gonna meet the statewide vote. And if you don't have them votes, no one else complaining, only her. So far for what there's allegedly only her so far. And as I said, you're gonna see denial, her coming out on all the different type of platforms for her losing her seat. That's a possibility. Might be surprised. You might just understand the political landscape as it is. There's not a lot of people that's of her take on issues, and they might have some Hispanics that's with her, but for the large majority, I think Texas Hispanics are more conservative base than liberal base in the statewide election. So then you're dealing with what their interests are. And so when you're looking at their perspective, so that might actually, as the correspondent stated, that might leverage the Tallarico's voting power towards his election versus the Crockett position. And you got to recognize, you got to look at the numbers, you got to do the numbers, you got to go back over things, you got to look at, see what's happening, and then you reevaluate and then come to a conclusion on your own. What they said, I don't think she's happy with the conclusion that she just got ousted from her position in Congress and someone's taken over. And they said it's the end of her political career. Do you think that? Yes or no? I don't think it's the end of her political career. I think it's going to be an advantage to her political career. I think it's the end of her political career in Texas, per se. But she probably built a lot of rapport with other people in other states and other situations. She might be doing other things now. It might lend her time to do other things in the political spectrum, political world. I will say maybe not as a representative, but as someone else. We'll see. But what's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. Let's finish this clip up and find out what's going on.
The Democrats, they have their pick. They're set. Do you think this is going to hurt the Republicans at all? Because they have a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, there is going to be no love lost between Ken Paxton and John Cornyn in this, 3-month runoff, the runoff into May here. And you're going to see a lot of money, like I said, come in. Senator Cornyn had about $70 million come in to try and propel him in this primary. To Ken Paxton's about $5 million. And there's, like I said, no love lost between the two of them. But the good news is this is the earliest primary on the calendar, right? We saw it here in March. The runoff is in May. And let me tell you, that is still a lot of time, politically speaking, into the general election. So even in what will be an incredibly bruising fight between two Texas heavyweights, you will see there is plenty of time for them to run on their record and run on their message versus James Talarico, who is a good fundraiser, but is really a wolf in sheep's clothing when it comes to being a radical leftist and not a right fit for Texas as a senator.
So do you think
So basically, just exposing that this guy is he's a leftist. He's more basically, if I'm getting what she's saying, he's a rhino, and that's what they're looking for. Well, wait a minute, I gotta look him more. Is he I thought he was a Republican, but if he is, or he a Democrat, or he a conservative Democrat, I don't know. I gotta look more up on this guy Talarico. But as she was saying about the two Texans, the two heavyweights over there. They're putting money in, millions of dollars. It's pro. It's big boy game, big man game. Big money, big pack. They got their interests behind both candidates, and these are two heavyweight titans, as she was saying, in Texas. Longhorn, you understand me? University of Texas Aggie, A&M, big dogs. Yeah, this is not the game they're playing. These ones, they look conservative, look clean, but these big dogs, they paying for big stakes. And like she said, between these two men, there's not gonna be no love lost. I totally agree with her. There's not gonna, these two men are heavyweight titans, and they move. How they say in the home in the urban areas, they move frontage around. So I don't think the Cornyn and Paxton gonna have a problem with this. It's gonna really, they got millions and millions of dollars in play, and they playing for big boy positioning. So let's go find out. What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. It's gonna be amazing to see what's going to happen. Texas look like it's going red all the way. What's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. It's crazy.
The Democrats stand any chance of flipping this? I don't know if you heard Doug Luzader there right before we came to you. He said that there's been no Democrat that has won a state primary in 30 years.
Yeah, I call it the big Texas blue fever dream they have every cycle, where Democrats play this game where they dump hundreds of millions of dollars into Texas just to light it on fire. You can look at Beto, I was born to do it, Robert Francis O'Rourke. You can look at Colin Allred. You can look at the lady in the sneakers who stood on the Texas floor. Texas Democrats are trying to play the long game here, where they think they can slowly move the electorate versus trying to win flat out. Tallarico is the quote unquote moderate that Democrats wanted versus the radical of Jasmine Crockett. But now they get to litigate Tallarico's stance. He's never really had anybody push him in a race before. So this is going to be one that is going to see Democrats yet again spend a lot of money, likely, and for not the result of a victory. This will remain a Republican Senate seat.
Okay, Aaron McGuire, always great to get your take.
Yeah, Amy McGuire, she got a good information, very knowledgeable correspondent. I really like her view. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going on out here. Tallarico came in. I don't know if he taking Crockett's seat. I don't know if, like she said, I don't know if he's going to be able to deal with the pressure that's come with that seat, because she has raised the mark of that seat. That region, that area, she had put political fire on that space. So he's coming in the Texas area in that ideal space, and what's going to happen now, it's going to show the leverage of what the advancements of her political mediocre rise Crockett and what she put in that district and the influence she brought to the district. So can he come and deal with the difference climate that he maybe not used to, and the pressure that comes with that seat, that Crockett has developed. And so you will have people coming at you with different interests that you're not used to, different strengths that they're looking for, different resolves, issues they want to resolve, different economic issues, different political issues, different everything come your way. Can you deal with that seat? And they're going to come with how they deal with Crockett. So now you're walking in a space that you maybe not used to. I've been to Tallarico. He look like a man that can handle this. He's a shark, as they say. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing. He might be able to handle it. We'll see. But he has definitely defeated Crockett in the Texas Dem Senate primary. He's the man now. Tallarico, out of Round Rock, Texas, right outside of Austin, Texas, the capital. So if I'm looking at Round Rock, it's conservative, but it's divided. But let's see what he do. Without further ado, what's your opinion? Leave a comment down below. I'd like to hear from you. Stop this. It's a good one.